What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Cinder City is about to be played by the public for the very first time. This is the big open world shooter from NCSoft that a lot of people have been quietly waiting on for years. The first pre-alpha test lands this month. If you have been looking for something to scratch that Destiny or Division itch, this is it. So today we are going through 10 things you need to know about Cinder City and about this test, how you get in and what is actually in the game, plus what the people who already played it thought of it. A couple of these are going to annoy you. Let us get into it. Number one, the dates are locked in. The first Cinder City pre-alpha playtest runs from August 14th through August 16th. That is one single weekend, and then it is gone. The developers confirmed all of this on the official Steam page. Now here's why this matters more than a normal beta announcement. Nobody outside of the studio has really touched this game since Gamescom last year. That was a 20-minute demo behind closed doors on a show floor. This is the first time regular players get to sit down with it at home. The reported hours put Friday at 5 until 9 in the evening, Pacific time. Saturday and Sunday then run from 5 until 11. So this is not a servers up all weekend situation. It is a few scheduled windows built to slam the servers on purpose. Number two is how you actually get in, and there is a catch. Signups are open right now through a site called PlayerGG. You register your interest and then you wait to hear back. Invitations start going out on August 12th at 9 in the morning Pacific time. If you get picked, you receive an email with your access details. Now here's the catch. This first test is open only to people living in the United States who are 16 or older. Everybody else is locked out of this one. I know that is going to sting for a lot of you watching. The developers did say directly that more playtests are planned after this. They also said future tests will cover new regions. There are no dates on any of that yet, though. So outside the States, this is a wait and see. Number three, and this one changes how you should treat the next few weeks. The whole test sits under a strict non-disclosure agreement. The wording on the Steam post is about as blunt as it gets. Recording gameplay is prohibited. So is streaming, and so is posting or uploading anything at all. Everything about the test is treated as confidential, so do not expect a wave of proper footage on Monday morning. Now let us be realistic for a second. Leaks happen with more or less every closed test ever run. Some blurry phone footage will almost certainly turn up somewhere, but be careful how much weight you put on it. A pre-alpha build is not a representative build. Anything that leaks will be running unfinished systems and unfinished performance. Judging the game off, that would be unfair to it and misleading to you. Number four, and this game might already look familiar to you. Cinder City was originally revealed back in 2022 under the name Project LLL. That reveal made a serious amount of noise at the time. It looked like somebody had blended the Division and Destiny with a little bit of Anthem on top. Then it went quiet for a very long stretch. It resurfaced at Gamescom in 2025 with a new name and a proper gameplay showing. The developer is Big Fire Games and the publisher is NC, better known to most of us as NCSoft. That is the same publisher behind Guild Wars. So if you saw this thing years ago and assumed it quietly died, it did not. It has been in development this whole time, and it is finally starting to show itself. Number five is the setting, and it is stranger than I expected. Cinder City takes place in a near future version of Seoul. In the fiction, a single incident in the 23rd century rewrites the entire course of 21st century history. So the city you fight through is a collision of eras and technology that should not exist together. Seoul itself has been devastated by mutated creatures and by criminal organizations. The super soldiers holding the line are called Cinderknights. You play as one of them, and his name is Seven. Your story opens with a mission in Samseong-dong to rescue his daughter Joy. All of that comes straight from the developer's own gameplay overview. But here's the part worth flagging. The team has said the campaign is not meant to be the main event. The online open world is where the real focus sits. Number six is the scale of the thing, and the numbers are pretty wild. In an interview, the studio put the playable city at around 7 by 7 kilometers. For a game built like this, that is enormous. The developers also say the plan is for it to keep growing after launch. They describe it as an open world battlefield that is constantly evolving and expanding. Then there is the player count. The team has talked about hundreds of players sharing one world at the same time. Internal tests have reportedly run with well over 100 players in a single space. One preview even mentioned a target higher than that again. I would treat those figures as ambition rather than a promise. Server load in a quiet internal test and server load on a public night are two different animals, which is exactly what a stress test like this exists to find out. Number 7 is how you build a character, and it is not what MMO players will expect. There is no traditional class system in here. You're not picking a tank or a healer. Instead, you pick a Cinderknight, and each one arrives with their own weapons and abilities. The studio is currently aiming for 9 playable characters at launch. That number is not locked in, and it could easily move during development. What we have seen of the abilities looks genuinely flashy. There are back-mounted rockets that would not look out of place in Anthem. There are protective shield domes you can drop over your squad. You also get tactical gear like drones and stealth equipment. And then there are the vehicles, bikes, and cars and aircraft are all in there. You can also climb into a full mech and pilot it around, which is the clip everybody keeps screenshotting. Number 8 is the Endgame, and this is where the MMO half shows up properly. The plan is field bosses roaming out in the open world. On top of that, you get instanced dungeons and large-scale world raids. The developers describe it as role-based cooperative gameplay. So coordinating your gear and your tactics with a group is the entire point of it. What I like is the thing they said they are avoiding. The executive producer said they are not aiming for a game where players endlessly farm the same enemies for random loot. The focus instead is cooperative fights against genuinely powerful enemies. He also confirmed that most content can be played solo. Story missions and quests are described as solo-friendly. Tough enemies will just take longer on your own. So this is an MMO telling you up front that it does not want to force you into a group. Number 9, and this is the one nobody covering the playtest is telling you. Press already played this game at Gamescom and the reactions were mixed. Let us start with the praise. Previews called out the Unreal Engine 5 visuals and the destroyed cityscapes. Vextralife liked the environment variety from a wrecked stadium to subways to swampy forest. Being able to hijack a mech in the middle of a fight also went down well. Now for the criticism, because there was a decent amount of it, multiple outlets flagged janky animations, especially walking and throwing grenades. Gaming Bible went after the crouch walk speed and called the enemy AI unintelligent. Rock, Paper, Shotgun were blunter and said the shooting looks dated. CG Magazine noted the demo only had human enemies, despite the creatures in the trailers. All of that was a build from a year ago. Fixing exactly that kind of feel is what a pre-alpha is for. And number 10, the practical stuff you need before you go and sign up. The Steam requirements are steep. Both the minimum and the recommended spec ask you for 32 gigabytes of RAM. The team even put out a correction notice specifically to confirm that 32 gigabyte figure. Minimum graphics is a GeForce RTX 2060 and recommended jumps to an RTX 4070. There is one important caveat though, those numbers come from the current development build. The team says the final requirements at launch may end up lower as optimization continues. On release, NCSoft has previously pointed at the second half of 2026. The Steam page itself just says coming soon. It is confirmed for PC and for consoles, but the exact consoles have not been named. And on money, the executive producer said the team is not considering any pay-to-win elements. He also admitted the model itself is still undecided. And those are the 10 things you need to know about Cinder City in this pre-alpha. Quick note on where all of it came from. The test details are straight from the official Steam announcements. The gameplay details come from the developer's own overview video and from interviews, and the criticism comes from press who played it at Gamescom last year. Nobody has touched the current build yet, so we will not really know how this feels until people get their hands on it. I will be covering this one as it develops, so subscribe and turn on notifications. Now I want to hear from you. Are you still hungry for a new Destiny or Division style shooter, or have those games burnt you too badly to care? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next